So we propose a 5-step approach that allows us to incrementally transform a conceptual process model into an executable one. And a characteristic of this approach is that we actually come up with an intermediate format, the to-be-executed process model, that we obtain along the way when transforming a conceptual process model into an executable one. The key characteristic of this to-be-executed model is that it is technology agnostic, meaning that we can obtain this model by following a few steps without the need of utilizing a particular BPMS. And then only the last step of the method can be implemented in the context of a specific BPMS of choice. So the steps are as follows. First, we start by identifying the automation boundaries, meaning that we need to understand what can be automated and what needs to be left out of the control of a BPMS. Because if we would try to force the BPMS to also implement these other elements, then we would not gain any efficiency. Then we have to review the manual tasks that are still part of the business process, identifying a mechanism to hook up these manual tasks into the BPMS. Then we need to complete the process model by adding those details that are specific only to execution, such as exception handlings or any data element that we did not explicitly model at the level of the conceptual process model. Then in step 4, we need to adjust the task granularity. This means that whenever we have tasks that are very abstract, we may need to refine them into several tasks of an atomic nature. Whereas on the other hand, there might be that there are some tasks that are at a too low level of granularity, in which case we may need to aggregate them into a higher level of granularity. So here the idea would be to try to maximize the efficiency gains that we can obtain through automated coordination of work, so through the BPMS. So by completing these 4 steps in the context of a specific BPMS, then we will obtain the to-be-executed process model. And the last step is about specifying execution properties, such as, for example, data types and data mappings, which are typically specific to the BPMS of choice.